wouldn't be perceived as a limit in 5 or 10 years from now. I also think that a lot of what we design is just happy accident. So I'm a musician, and this is a tangent, but you know, when you're playing and you make a mistake or you do something a little bit different and you're like, hey, that kind of works, you know, let's explore that, and you tease that thread out and it becomes something really wonderful. I think probably that happens in the lab too, where you're like, hey, you know, this is, you know, phosphorescing for, you know, no good reason. I put the GFP in another part. Why is it doing that? You know, let's kind of tease that out, and you come to some more interesting understanding than you could have perhaps theorized, de novo. So I think when we talk about design, I think some of what we're going to call design later is really going to be accident now. It sounds a little ominous, right? Because when we're talking about biological entities and accidents, I'm not talking about gray goo types of scenarios, but rather incidental findings in the lab, or things that we just happen upon. I think those kinds of things are really going to be the game changers as we try to design our way forward. I think that there'll be lots of turns left and right off the path that we think we're following. And again, I just think in terms of what we can design, it's practically unlimited. It's limited. It's not even limited by our imagination, because these kinds of happenstance understandings that we come to, we wouldn't have imagined in the first place.
Okay, the last one was, whose business is ethics?
So, whose business is ethics? I think it's everybody's business. I think ethics ought to be more democratized, like technology. I think everybody's got a stake in it. I think if you're a business person at a big oil company, you personally have a stake in the ethics. And if you think that you can hide behind a company or use a company to obfuscate or somehow get out of your obligation to be ethical, then that's wrong. And I think that it's definitely also the government's business to be in bioethics. Corporations, as these sort of agnostic entities, aren't human beings with a sense of cultural mores and such. So it's the government's responsibility to step in and hold them accountable, and to instill in them the rules that make them somewhat ethical entities, because they're not going to do it themselves. I think it's, there are plenty of scientists who are great ethicists, and they do it every day at the lab bench. And so I think it's the citizens' responsibility to be in bioethics. I'm glad that people ask questions about synthetic biology and raise, potential threats about it. It gives us an opportunity to respond and educate them about the research process and what we think synthetic biology is, and also helps us to think through what it is how we are addressing these kind of bioethical questions. So I don't think there's anybody who shouldn't be in the business of bioethics, especially as we come into an era where biological engineering is every day. We're all eating GMOs, well, most of us, and everybody's going to know everything about everybody's DNA. I think there isn't a single person on the planet who shouldn't have some stake in bioethics. To me. This sounds like something a little kid would say.
There's going to be 11, 12 minutes left on this tape, so...
Okay, well, that was the end of the official question, so I was just wondering if there's anything else you wanted to say.
Oh gosh. I'm trying to think. We had lots of good conversations. What was some of that good stuff that we were touching on?
I mean, a lot of it was about Jay, I think. If you wanted to talk about Jay.
Yeah. So Jake Kiesling is a really interesting guy to work for. He's tremendously energetic. He came into he's often traveling because he's just a busy guy, and we miss him. But when he's around, he's this totally positive force within the office. And now at the Emory Station East, where our building is at, he's right down the hall, and you can just hear him, a few offices away, and he's talking and laughing with people. And I don't know if or when he ever sleeps, but he comes into the office and, he's sending you emails, and he's got so much energy. It's very inspiring. He's also helped to instill this culture of democracy within Synbio, and he really listens to everybody, and he takes seriously what they say, and I think that helps people to feel like they have a voice in the center, and to give ideas that are sometimes out of the box and really good, and sometimes they're not, and that's okay. But I think we benefit from the participatory nature of the organization. So I commend Jay for that. Even my corny ideas, get an ear. So it's kind of fun for me. I participate on the monthly PI calls when all of the main researchers get together, about 15 or so, and talk science. And so we're thinking of ways, for example, how to increase collaboration and the coherency of the research program. And whether they take them or leave them, they certainly don't mind if I pipe in with my sort of perspective here and there, and I appreciate that. What else can I tell you? Yeah, I don't know. I'm out of ideas.
There are loads of ideas in there. Well then, that's it. Thank you.
Oh.
Yes, thank you. I'm going to just capture the sound of the room for 20 seconds.
Okay.
So.
I'll be quiet.
All right.
Are you able to back out the white sound, the white noise?
Oh yeah, the mic is